Good evening and welcome to Incredible Testimonies with me, Elizabeth. We're so excited to be here in VPA, Thames Road, Barking. We have loads of awesome testimonies every single Sunday, every service that we have. And tonight in the studio, we are blessed to have our family with us after 9 years of barrenness. We have husband and wife, Kwame and Juliana. Welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, how did you come to VPA?
In 2011, my ex-girlfriend introduced me to VPA, and when we came in, I found the church to be where I went to worship because the preaching was the one I want to hear, which is holiness and righteousness. So I decided to stay, but she couldn't stand the holiness and righteousness, so she left, and then I stayed. So that is where my story started with VPA.
Wow. And Juliana, did you already know Kwame before you came to VPA?
No, not really. I came to VPA because I was going through a lot. After the breakdown of my first marriage, 9.5 years in that marriage, 3 IVFs, still no children, so he was fed up with me and we went our separate ways. So after that, I met my work colleague now invited me to VPA to be Enough is Enough. And when I came, I felt the power of God, and I said, this is the church I want. And I saw Daddy for the counseling on Monday, and he said I should go to do my deliverance. After my deliverance, 13 weeks, I stayed, and miracles started happening. How I got my indefinite leave to remain, and I met my husband now.
So when you came to VPA, you were invited by your friend and you came for Enough is Enough. So VPA, every Tuesday morning, 6 o'clock, we have Enough is Enough, which is a power-packed prayer service every Tuesday. And you just felt the presence of God when you came.
That's right. It was time of worship. So immediately I entered. I said, wow, this is the place. I felt the move of God right at the entrance during worship. And I said, this is the place, I will stay. So after my deliverance, I stayed and I kept coming. And that's how I got my indefinite leave to remain.
So when you came both of you single.
Yes.
And you didn't have any children. You'd gone through a number of IVF treatments before.
3 times, yeah.
3 IVF treatments. So then, after your deliverance, that's when you also got your indefinite leave.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing. How did the two of you come together?
Right, so I've been coming day by day through every service, Monday to Friday, then Sunday service. But I had a dream, and I saw him in my dream. He was carrying 2 pillows. So when I wake up in the morning, when I was doing my quiet time, then I asked the Lord, why is that man carrying 2 pillows? And the Lord said he's looking for a wife. I said, It stopped there. I didn't even question anything anymore because what I went through, I said things to myself that is it. I just want to serve God in spirit and in truth.
But that time you just knew him from being in the church, or
Yeah,
you didn't know him?
No, I've seen him in the church
Okay.
before I had a dream of him. And I asked the Lord, why is he carrying 2 pillows? And the Lord said he's looking for a wife.
Okay.
But after that, that's it. I never spoke to him, actually. So I see him and I just look at him and go my way. So one day, it was not we do the birthdays in church. Right. So he came out in the group to celebrate his birthday. So after service, I said, "Oh, happy birthday," and he said, "Thank you," and that was it. Never spoke to him again. And I lived in North London during that time when I was doing my deliverance. And it happens we do the same bus journey as well. He'll be standing at the bus stop. That bus takes too long, and I feel tense because I know what I have seen in the dream about him. He's standing somewhere waiting for the same bus as well. We go on the bus, still we are not talking. So one day I was like, I don't want to go on the bus with that man. So I stayed for the second service when the first one ended, just that he will go.
Okay, just trying to delay so you don't even end up on the same bus. That's because right. You're now just feeling a bit awkward.
I was feeling tense about seeing him anytime. So I stayed for the second service, which finished after 5 o'clock. And I said I will go with the church bus as well. So during the second service, I saw him in the service and I was like, this man is still in the church. So I went to the church bus, which delayed because it has to take people. When I got to Barking, he was standing at the bus stop. I was getting the bus to go for. So honestly, when I saw him standing, I just burst into laughter. He was the only one standing at the bus stop. Then I said, it seems we missed the bus. And he said, just now. And the bus was about 5 minutes to come. I couldn't stay in the bus stop, so I said to him, I'm going to do window shopping. There's a shop opposite our bus stop. And he said, don't stay too long. And I was like, so I went quickly, and then a minute before the bus arrived, I came to the bus stop. The bus came, he said I should go in first. So I went to the upper deck. And then he followed. He came and sat by me, and I was like, I did not enough seats. Because he came right sitting by me. So on our journey to North London, he said, he was saying things about weekend parties and all that. And I said, me, I've stopped going to those events since I ended up with my first husband. And he said, you were married before? Oh, you've come to VPA, you've done your deliverance, why don't you go back? And I said, no, don't say that to me. And don't talk to me about my ex-husband anymore. So from that time, we stopped talking for over a year. I know what the Lord has said, but I didn't say anything to him. Until at the right time, how it happened, they want to say how it happened at the right time.
Yeah, so we started talking and, like we exchanged numbers and we started talking on the phone, and it came up that we have to go and meet Daddy. And then, find one Sunday to go and see Daddy. And we met Daddy, and then, Daddy just blessed the marriage and said, okay, we should go for counseling. And then work for, I think, is it 2 months?
Counseling was 4 months.
4 months, yeah. 4 months counseling, and then, and then we took it from there. We got married.
So when you came to VPA as well, what were you looking for? What was your situation?
Like nothing was working for me. Like Daddy just saw me and prayed for, like pray with me, and then he said, well, you can see me, like, nothing is going on in my life, and I should go for deliverance. So that is when I started my deliverance. So no work, I have nothing. So, I was just there. So when she came in my way, I said, God, well, they have given my first testimony.
So it's interesting because both of you are from the same place as well.
Yeah, from Ghana.
So, but you found each other in London in VPA.
That's true.
And did you have your documents at that time?
I didn't have. That's what I'm saying. I have nothing. There was nothing. Actually, I was living with a relative. Just sleeping in her living room.
Wow.
So, nothing was working for me. There was nothing.
So, after your deliverance, you got your indefinite leave,
That's right.
and then after your deliverance, then you got married. After 9.5 years and the IVF treatment, I mean, what was the situation? How you were thinking about children? How were you then? You know, you're a couple, you're married in VPA. How are you feeling at that point?
So yeah, before we got married, when we were talking, I said to him, "This is my background," and he said, "Don't worry, I can see you love God, so let's serve God together." So when we got married, I was not thinking about when it is going to happen. But when we married, the next day, which is Sunday after our testimony, Daddy prayed for us, and he said, "In 9 months' time, come with your baby." So on the 9th month of our marriage, I realized I was pregnant, and a few days later, I miscarried.
But you had no IVF,
No.
yeah,
Yes,
treatment or anything, and have you ever been pregnant before?
never been pregnant at all.
Wow.
All those IVFs in the past with my ex-husband was not successful.
Okay, no, not even miscarriage pregnancy.
Was not successful at all. So on the 9th month of our marriage, when I realized I was pregnant, and a few days after I lost it, I was not worried too much, but rather it encouraged me that after all, it could still happen.
Yes, it's now possible, at
Yes.
least.
So I was encouraged rather than
Yeah, that you could get pregnant,
That's right.
which had never even happened
in my life.
before.
That's right.
So how did it come about after that? I know we were talking before about that you then got your house and you own your house. So from having no documents and living in just one room, you also then got your house.
Yeah, so like I said before, I told him when we were talking that I have a plan of buying a house. So when we do get married, we should make it our priority to own our own home. So he's committed to that as well. So when we got married, we made our plans, we were working, we were saving. And by the time we found a house and they did all the paperwork for us to pick the keys, that's when I realized I was 5 months pregnant with Isaiah.
Wow.
Yeah, so both testimonies came together. Isaiah's pregnancy and the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that time, Kwame, as well, you still didn't have your documents.
Nothing.
So you had your house after your deliverance, even before you were even settled.
Yes.
God of VPA
It's
is
too much.
too much.
Too much.
And then I can remember as well, with Isaiah, you didn't know that you were pregnant.
That's
and you were
right.
already how far pregnant before you even
I know.
realized?
It's interesting, but God is faithful. He will do what He says He will do. In 2017, Grace Group, we had our barbecue, and we've gone to Daddy to give him a feedback on how the barbecue went. So the whole group went to Daddy in his office, and my husband now said, "Daddy, can we roll?" He said, "Can he roll on the floor?" And Daddy said, "Why not? Let's all go together." So all of us, including Daddy, we rolled. When we got up, then Daddy said, the man that asked to roll on the carpet, the Lord said, "Your baby is coming."
Okay.
Yeah, that was August 2017.
And how long had you been married at that point?
That time we were 2.5 years into our marriage.
Okay.
We got married in 2015, so 2.5 years into the marriage, and Isaiah manifested
In 2018.
in 2018.
Wow, incredible. So you came, then how did you get your documents? They
Yeah,
came
so-
after, that came even after?
Yeah, so when Isaac came in, and that time we got our house, and then I decided to apply for my documents. And lo and behold, Isaac came in August, and then I applied this document in September. And then in December I got my documents.
The whole package.
The whole package. Right. So in 2018, I got my house, I got my baby, I got my documents.
And you already had your wife. So at that time then, were you thinking about your family growing, or were you just really happy?
We're just enjoying our blessings and, you know, like our house, our baby,
yeah,
my documents, you know, so everything was working. So we're just there, just, you know, just enjoying ourselves, you know.
And then I can remember you came to testify about something else in church.
That time I was having a cataract on my eye, so I decided to, you know, go to the hospital and then take it off. So once I went to the hospital and I had a successful surgery, and I decided to, you know, testify. So on that Sunday I came out with my family, and then we came to testify. So Daddy prayed for us, and we just going. And on our way going, we hear the church calling us, and they said, Daddy's talking. So we looked back, and Daddy said, your next baby is coming, it's a girl. We should name her Rebecca. So wow, then we said, receive it. And the whole church was in like, wow. So we just left, and we kept, you know, like enjoying our blessings and everything. And lo and behold, was it how many months?
So Daddy said that
that was in 2019.
October 2019.
2019. Yeah.
Yes. And Rebecca, I found that I was pregnant with Rebecca in 2020 June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2020 June. Yeah.
That time she was 4 months.
Yeah.
Wow. So since you came to VPA, everything is
working around.
Yes. So were you Christian before you came to VPA? Were you going to church before?
Yeah, I used to go to a church in Woolwich. So and I used to be in the prayer meeting group. So my head of department, he was the one who told me first that there is a church in Barking, because he knew about my problems, like
okay,
you know, yeah, so
and things weren't happening, that you were being faithful, so but said, nothing was really shifting.
Exactly, yeah. So he said, go to that church, there's a man of God there, go and see him. And I said, well.
So was someone from another church referred you?
Yes.
Because of your situation, I know a place that you can go where God is really working.
I wasn't too sure about this, but then my girlfriend, my then girlfriend, came and said, look, there's this church in Barking. Why not try this church? And then I said, well, I'm not too sure, but let me pray about it, or because you know I'm not too sure of this man of God. And at the same time, I was watching Believe TV, and then I saw a lot of incredible testimonies, and I was like, wow, okay, now this man has said it, this lady has said it, so let me go and give it a try. And then, lo and behold, we came, and you know, I heard the preaching, which is about like holiness and righteousness, which I really liked, and then I stayed. So my first night vigil in VPA, after that first night vigil, I went home. As soon as I slept, then I saw Daddy in my dream, and he was wearing all white, and he was helping me with the buggy to climb the stairs, and I was like, what? This man, how did he just come in my dream? And I said, well, I'm not married, I haven't got any lady, so where is this buggy with the baby coming from? So, you know, and through that husband, I met this lady.
Wow. And then everything
turn
around. And Juliana as well, I know that you came, it was a friend that invited you as well, wasn't it? Was it as well because of your, like, situations that you were going through, or was it?
That colleague wasn't somebody I personally have conversation with, but she comes with the daily devotion, don't give up, and she'll drop it on my desk to say, can you help me distribute? So I'll personally take it upon myself and go to public places and give out the daily devotion. I'll take one of them and read. But my mind doesn't even come upon about the church. So one day she said to me, do you mind coming with me to my church? And I said, why not? So it was a Tuesday morning, enough is enough. She picked me from barking and I came. And since I came, I've never looked back.
So if somebody's watching, you know, and listening to the testimonies, what would you say to them? What advice would you give to somebody who's maybe in a similar situation to yourselves?
Okay, I would say God is never too late. He's always on time, and He's a God of all impossibility. Whatever your situation is, believe that God can change it, like He has changed my life. I look at myself and I say, wow, this October is 10 years since my first marriage ended, and within 10 years He has settled me than I ever believed He would. He is a faithful God. So don't waste time. Come to VPA, do your deliverance in spirit and in truth, and you will see God and you will be talking.
Amen.
Amen.
And Kwame, what would you say to anybody who is in a situation similar to yours?
I would say VPA is a dry cleaner place. When you come, just come the way you are, and God is going to change or turn things around for you. Just believe, come and believe, and God will change around. God is using the man of God, our Papa Alex, and he's a faithful man of God. So come and receive your blessings here.
Amen. So, viewers, you've heard it live and direct. God of VPA is working. He's settled everything, not just after 9 years of barrenness. They've got the whole package after they step foot into VPA with documents, marriage, owning their property, and after 9 years of barrenness, you can see for yourself the happy and healthy family with Isaiah, Rebecca, Juliana and Kwame. We're here tonight for Night of Freedom. We encourage you, if you're in the area, come and see us, come and get your blessing. Your time has come.
Thou art worthy, El Shaddai, Lord Almighty, the strong and rested on His great Jehovah. I am, yes, you are the Most High God. Come on, Lamb of God, Lamb of God.
Welcome back to our incredible testimonies at VPA, Victorious Pentecostal Assembly in London, Thames Road, Barking. And we have another incredible package testimony for you. Vina is with us, and she is going to tell us about how she inherited £100,000 after getting contact with VPA. Welcome, Vina. It's nice to have you here. So, how did you come to find us here at VPA?
I remember I used to go to a different church and nothing was working, and I did not even have a proper job, and I was in debt. I was a student at the time. I was on student visa. So I pray and I ask God for a good church where I see His power. And after that, I had to go to the bank to pay for my credit card. So when I went to the bank, there was a lady standing in front of me, and suddenly she just turned back and facing me. You could see her face looked so beautiful, it was glowing, and that lady was like in her mid-40s, and she's like did not have any makeup, but she had anointed oil on her face. So I said to her, "You're looking so pretty, your face is glowing." So she said to me, "Yeah, I just completed my deliverance in VPA church." And I said, "I'm looking for a church as well to worship." So she said to me, "Yeah, you can come." So she gave me all the detail of the church, and this is how I contacted the church, and I came. I came to see Pastor Alex for counseling, and from there I went on my deliverance. I have not even started my deliverance yet, but I feel so much peace, so much joy in me, and I was so excited to start my deliverance, and I did it within like a week, 5 days. I started having 2 jobs, and things started changing from there. Because everything changed completely, and this is how I start make an application for my to change my status, because I was student visa and I wanted a change, so I applied for my indefinite leave to remain.
So you said to me before, when you didn't actually meet the criteria at the time to make your application for indefinite leave, what happened for you to think, okay, yes, I'm going to make my application now?
Just like I wanted a change, and I trust God will do it for me, especially where I was worshiping. I know God will do something for me. And I remember I came for a night vigil, and I had this in my heart, and I said to God, I want to apply for my paper. And at the time, Pastor Alex came midnight, came on the altar, and he said to people, tell God what you want, ask God for something new. So in my heart I was praying, and I asked God, I want to apply for my paper, make a way for me. And then after that, I can hear Pastor Alex said, people who doesn't have paper here, God said, if they want to apply for their paper, they can go ahead and apply. And I tapped into this word and made my application, and God provided me everything that I needed to make that application. Even though I did not have the money, I started getting work. I managed to get the money and everything I need to make the application. That's how it goes.
That's amazing. So you were saying, like, when you went to the bank in the first place, you had actually were paying for your student fees at that time on a credit card, and that's why you went to the bank, and then you'd prayed to say, where can you go, that ask God of a church.
A church, a good church.
Yeah.
See His power, yeah.
And then that's when all your financial breakthroughs and blessings started to come, and you travelled from Mauritius to study.
Yeah, I came to London to study, yeah.
And that time you were as well, like Juliana and Kwame, you was just in one room.
Yeah.
You was in the flat first.
Yeah, I was in the flat first, but then I lost my job. I could not afford to pay for that flat, so I had to downgrade and go in a small room. And I had like small job, so it's what I was doing, like cleaning job, and I paid for that small room, and I had to pay for my credit card as well, and I was in debt. But when I came to VPA, I started my deliverance. This is where everything changed. Managed to pay that credit card because I was getting work everywhere, and everything changed. Even my paper as well. It was a long process where I had to go to court. immigration court to fight my case, but I got it. I got it outside immigration rule. So the judge said to me, like, he bent the rule for me, and I got it.
Wow, that's amazing. So then I can remember, like you said, the night vigil then was one of the night vigils you came and you were praying, and then after that you went home, and that place when you was just in the room, you found your things on the doorstep. What was that like at that time?
Yeah, this happened. It's same day I had to go to the immigration court, file my case for immigration, and I was supposed to move out. And I told my landlord I had such a busy week, so I can't move out on that day, on that Friday. And at the same time, we had night vigil. So I said, give me one more week, because I didn't have time at all. And I looked for some places. I called, they said to me, it's not ready, you have to wait for one more week. So I came to night vigil and had impartation. It was a beautiful night vigil. I was so tired, I came home, so all my stuff was outside in the garden, and it was raining. But I remember that before I came for the night vigil, there was a lady called me, and that lady asked me to do some shopping. Like once in a while, she would call me like to get some stuff for her. So I went to that lady before I came to church, and I did her shopping. And then I told her what has happened. Like the landlord asked me to move, but I did not have time. So the lady said to me, listen, I got a spare room, a box room. So if you want it, you can take it for £50. But the big room has gone. And she provided a student accommodation as well. Said to me, another student took that big room. So I said, I don't know, because I made arrangement to move next week, so I don't want like to take this one. So she said to me, listen, if you have any problem, just call me. I said, okay, that's fine. So I left, I came for the night vigil, enjoyed the night vigil, went home in the morning, all my stuff was outside, and in the rain. Then I remember that lady, what she said to me. So I called her and I told her what happened. She said to me, I told you to come yesterday. You are not listening. But I remember I said, God knew what is going to happen to me. That the landlord is going to put all my stuff outside. That's why.
And already lined a place up before.
Yeah, it touched the heart of that lady to give me a place. And I started laughing. I was so happy instead of being sad. I was saying, God did not want me to be homeless. And I'm worshiping a big God, a powerful God, so no one can do that to me. So I was so happy that day. I see the hand of God, and I was like rejoicing. So I packed my stuff. In 10 minutes, I was in that place. And that was the same lady afterward who, like, when she passed away, she left me some money. She left me £100,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, but coming up to that, I can remember like what you were saying, that the woman was quite elderly.
No, she was not elderly.
Okay.
She was, she had to retire early because she had an injury in her back.
Okay.
So, but she was like, still like provide like accommodation, student accommodation. So,
but you were helping her cleaning around the house and...
Yeah, but because it was part of my job when like my day off when I clean my room, so I clean everywhere. What's the point of hoovering on your room and then everywhere is in a mess? So I was hoovering everywhere.
And cooking.
And she liked spicy food and stuff like that. So when I was cooking, it smelled good. So she would ask me, what are you cooking? So I told her, and I gave her the food. So I could see she enjoyed the food. She never complained. So I asked her, do you like it? She said to me, yeah, I like spicy food. So I always cook and give to her. But we always had like a good time together. We always have a laugh. But I did help her a lot, but I did not. It's like part of my job to help people. I'm a carer, that's my job. So, did not know that this cannot touch you.
No, but you were just living in the room. She was your landlady. You know, she's not your family member or anything.
No.
She was a British woman.
She was an English woman.
English woman. Okay, yeah. So then, where you weren't expecting any, you know, any inheritance. You weren't expecting
nothing like that.
anything. Then you came. It was actually another night vigil as well.
Yeah.
When tell us about that.
Yeah, she was not well, and she had to go to the hospital. So when I came for the night vigil, her daughter called me and said to me like she passed away. But before that, when I came to night vigil early. But people that I knew in that night vigil, a friend that I had in here, so I asked them like to pray for her because she was not well. But then after like an hour, 2 hours, the doctor called me and said to me she passed away. I was really heartbroken, and I said, God, I was praying for her. Why did you take her? And then I had to leave the church and go because her daughter was coming. So I had to go home to see the daughter. And I was very, very sad, very heartbroken.
So with the daughter, her daughter called you to say that she was giving you £100,000 from the will, and then so you've come from Mauritius on a student visa, and then when you came to VPA, had your deliverance, God settled everything financially. Now you've bought your own house and you're a landlord yourself as well.
Yeah.
So God has turned everything around. What would you say to anybody who's watching if they're in a similar situation to you?
Yeah, you can't stay at home. You have to come to church. You have to come and seek God. You have to pray. You have to be in this church in VPA. You have to be here. You have to pray. You have to come for your deliverance and be here all the time, like I did. Every night vigil, I used to be here. And then I sow seed as well. So every time I will run to Pastor Alex and sow my seed and pay my tithe, always faithful in my tithe as well. So God has really blessed me. I never lack money. Financially, God has blessed me.
So you've heard it now. We've got all of the testimonies, incredible testimonies in VPA. We're here for Night of Freedom. Come and take your testimony.
Thou art worthy, El Shaddai, God Almighty, the strong and rested on His great Jehovah. I am, yes, you are the most